Hey, welcome back. Today, the pop-up stream. I felt all right tonight after my 12 hours. So we're gonna we're gonna do some drafters. We're gonna at least do one of the $3 minis. We might do two or three. We'll give everybody a few minutes to pop in. Uh, haven't really seen any news that's going on right now or anything, but I haven't. I literally just got home. So while we wait and let a few people get in here so we can get into that lobby. And honestly, actually, let's just go ahead. We'll do a couple slow picks before we do that. So we got a couple teams here. I've autoed a couple picks on these teams. Um, I definitely timed out once or twice. So this one, it's not bad. I timed out on Bryce Young, but I think I need an RB here, so we'll just throw somebody in there. Taj Brooks is always good. I kind of draft these a lot like the like a fast draft. So welcome Paulino, Zero, Barry, Scott, and Mike. Yeah, I drive a sit down around most of the day. Today was a little different. I had a lot of there was a lot of bad things going on, and I had to go train people and stuff all day. So so I didn't do anything today. So yeah, this team, Lamar, Cam Ward, Hampton, this draft, I believe this is the one I got Hampton at 53 before the news. Okay, no, I got him at 47 here. But like all of these slows, a bunch of them I ended up with him. So definitely need a wide receiver here. I think that could have been good enough at tight end, but it's double by week 7. I'm not honestly that worried about it. Um, but a wide receiver here, I don't take like any Wandale. We got Lamar. I don't know. I'll get back to these later. We're going to go to drafters. We're going to go ahead and queue up. We got 5 spots available. I'm hitting join. Those of you who want, come on in. I most likely will do a second draft. So if you end up missing on this one, it's all good. I feel pretty good tonight. So I should definitely be able to do 2. Probably will not be able to do 3, but that is what it is. How was everybody Saturday? Are you guys doing a bunch of the little Dalmatians? Have you done a Dalmatian yet? I've not done any of those drafts. I figure like with the little Dalmatian being as full as it is, like I'll just kind of sit out on it. I can afford to not do a couple of the contests. I will definitely max the Dalmatian when it launches, but we will whenever, or I will do that during this week. I'm hoping it stays open for a little while. All right, we are in. We got the 7. I am the Kai. Got the 5. Donkey from Shrek. I don't know if he's following me, but see him all the time in drafters. He's got the 1. 0 at the 8. If you were in here and I did not wait a minute. Okay, that is not what I thought it was. Got it. But if you're in here and I did not shout you out, let me know. We will be. Man, every time I draft at 7, I tend to get just tend to always end up with Puka. But I am going to start mixing in Saquon Barkley there whenever he falls because Saquon actually gets to 6 or 7 routinely now on drafters. I don't know what you guys believe in that, or if you believe in that, or what your take is. Should I pretend you're? You can do whatever you want, man. I don't care. Uh, I will build the best squad I possibly can. And to be honest, like if somebody gets snagged from me, I have zero problem just like taking taking Drake May, Justin Herbert, Justin Field, any of those guys just naked. Like if something bad happens, you do any of the doubt. I am planning. I was just talking about that. I'm planning on doing all three of them, but I have not done any of them. I work 12s on the weekend, so they basically launched it while I was at work, and I've worked for 20ish hours since then. So worked for like because they launched it in the morning. So I set rankings and limits and auto seven little. Nice. Yeah, I will do the Dalmatians for sure. That it's like my favorite contest. Like that underdog provides. I really like it. I love the 4 of 12 to get to the 1 of 5. That it just feels really good. We'll click ADP there. So Barkley does go early. Yeah, this is usually what happens. And I personally like Puka over Neighbors. I have a lot of Puka though, like a lot of it in here. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll make a Neighbors team. We build the best teams we ever could. If this room is chaotic, yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, and I don't think naked backstacking Justin Herbert's that bad because I think Herbert's like 15 to 20 picks underpriced anyway. So there is that. I did Niner stack Brock Purdy with Ricky. Also did Cowboys. That's a very comfortable place to be too. Like that's a very comfortable place. Uh, I have a couple teams like that. I probably don't have as many like that with. So where did you take Ayuk, by the way? All kinds of all kinds of news all over the place on if he's going to be healthy, if he's not, all that stuff. Yeah, that's good. Like all that you can ask for is that you love the teams that you build, right? Now, who knows what's going to happen with them? Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. Yeah, I think Lad is an amazing pick for this contest. Full PPR, like especially so. I don't know if you guys seen the one bit of news I did see today was Trey Harris did not show up. He so 30 of the 32 second round picks have not signed. They're all fighting over guaranteed money versus whatever. Um, what is this about? I need to know about this. Um, I will look that up right now because, like I said, I worked all day. I have looked at zero information today. Um, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Was he for what? I mean, all kinds of players get arrested every year, right? It's pretty hard to get arrested. Like I Ford back on the menu. What was he arrested for though? I'm curious. I That would be really bad for me. I really like Quinchon. Like an arrest is usually not that big of a deal whenever it comes to like as long as he doesn't miss a lot of camp. Like it'll just be a money plea or something, as long as he wasn't like hustling guns or something, something that's a felony. And even then, it might take him 3 years to get it to court. So, kind of like with the Rashee Rice thing, right? Like, uh, okay, I'll look it up here after a bit. All right, yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna take. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, we'll take Brees. I love Brees. So I will wait until I actually have time to look through the news. Probably tomorrow night. I'll probably have time to look through it. I had to eat before I jumped on here. Um, okay, yeah. I I don't know. I'll wait until information comes out with that. Like, oh, I have no idea. So he will probably drop in this draft though with that information. I peeped it. I looked. Like, but all that matters is like, does the person file against him and all that? Like, just because you get picked up doesn't mean that person files against you. And some states are all that have different rules. Like, I have no idea how any of that works, so I can't really have an actual good opinion on it. Hey, what's up, Tyler? Aaron here is letting me know about the Judkins stuff, but I haven't had time to look at it, so I'll figure it out by Monday. Like, there'll be a lot more come out on it, like everything, and we'll figure it out. Like, everybody will figure it out together, right? Like, I'm overweight him right now, so there's no reason to really take him. I mean, at 79, if he's there and I needed an RB, I might just take it anyway. But the problem with that is, like, let's say he just misses some training camp. That's not great for a rookie, no matter what. So that's one of my big negatives for Luther Burden this year. I know that some people love him, but he unless he's full go for training camps, like I don't know. Like I'm gonna take some because he's incredibly cheap. Like, he is like Luther Burden is incredibly cheap. But I mean, Colston Loveland is cheaper and got drafted before him and is at a position that is harder to find elite talent at, right? So, like, the fact that Colston Loveland goes that late, and like, I'm just now kind of realizing this, like, Justin Fields at 51. Just Montreal Mike. Oh no, that was Roscoe. It wasn't sorry, Montreal Mike. Roscoe out here getting his guys. I mean, Hockey Hooligan's a smart guy. He'll take Pickens here. Zay Flowers looks pretty enticing, doesn't he? What do you think, Zero? Do you think I should take Zay Flowers? Fields going at his fair value price at least, right? Yeah, and like, I'm starting to like catch up on Loveland is what I'm going to do. Even with Lamar, I was just giving you hell. Gamble always talking about friendly neighbors and all that. But yeah, we got to keep an eye out on the 3-hole here. Kenneth Walker got pulled up. That one's not like atrocious by any means. Omari and Hampton didn't go until 48. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Like, I don't mind the Zay click now that he's in the middle of the fifth. Like, I hated it up in the fourth, but in the middle of the fifth, like, I'm still not going to be overweight, but I will do it. I will definitely do it here and there. So yeah, the Quinchon thing, like that's I'm glad recently I started taking a lot more I mean Ridley's still here. I mean, I can almost like I can be close to done at wide receiver, right? Like I guess I got three by week 12, but I don't really care about that. And I think that's kind of where Terry McLaurin should be going as well. Nice. Yeah, I would have taken whichever one was left, Ridley or Mixon. I would like I do prefer Ridley purely because I have like 16 to 17% Mixon. Yeah, I fully understand that. And with total points contest, you do need like I can't afford to take another wide receiver for a while. Like you need to be semi balanced. Like I'm plus one on like at wide receiver to the flex. So like I can't really afford to take more of them. I'm targeting Higgins, so Mixon for teammate. That makes sense. Why are you targeting Jaden Higgins right now? Any certain reason? And I will say, like, I take a lot of Higgins in this area. Um, Rookies. So one thing I did wrong last year on drafters is I did take too many rookies, and I also gambled that like the people that had like hamstring injuries and stuff, like uh, DeAndre Hopkins, that they would be fine after just a couple weeks. There was like two of them I think that had high ankle sprains. One of them, Jalen Warren. And whenever they started the fall, I was like, well, they should only be like we're just getting value and they won't be great for a couple weeks. Well, number one, that those couple weeks matter a little more in total points. And number two, like if they're not healthy to start the season, they are a much, much worse pick in this format. I mean, I would love to get either one of these, honestly. So, and this is a fair price on David Montgomery. So we are building out Tennessee. It looks like I don't mind that. I Tennessee is an offense that I do believe has a chance to be a massive winner based on their price. I got a sticker shock with my average price pre-draft being 160 plus, but Higgins was a second favorite wide receiver prospect pre-draft, so need to. Well, right, he got the capital and he went to an amazing situation, right? So I didn't have him at 2, but I had him pretty high. Cam Chig, Lockett. I haven't been able to get to Lockett, but I would absolutely like that's for underdog. I would absolutely take Lockett in total points. I still I've actually taken more Restrepo. Um, I was big into Restrepo before the draft. No, 2 overall, second favorite. Golden and Higgins are a favorite. Okay, so Golden and Higgins, nice. Yeah, I was. I'll take the free Sam Laporta. Um, but yeah, I can't remember exactly what my ranks were. I had Tet by default just because of draft capital expected. Like I had Golden above Tet in my personal ranks, but I assumed that Tet would go really early and Golden wouldn't go as early. And I had Golden and Igbuka like neck and neck. Um, and I really liked I liked Jalen Noel quite a bit as well. But Jack Best was like my number 5 prospect. I really liked the way Jack Best played the game. I don't care if he can't separate. He still caught the ball contested over and over again, no problems. All right, so let's look and see what Roscoe is doing now. He took Justin Fields and then back to being normal. Yeah, Andrews a little above, but everything else is just kind of ADP. Like Kenneth Walker a little above, Justin Fields a little like 3 rounds above, Andrews like a round above. But yeah, like other than that, it's kind of staying within a normal draft. Yeah, Andrews at 94. Like Andrews goes at like 105, 106. And to me, that's with Laporta and Hawkinson dropping, Andrews at 106 kind of makes sense. But if he ends up staying, I mean, I will. We'll take the Mooney fall. I can possibly be done. Like I will add another wide receiver just because of the triple by week 12. But man, neighbors, McConkey, McLaurin, Waddle, Ridley, Mooney. That is awesome. Still fit Laporta in here. Brees Hall, Tony Pollard. Like I definitely need. Like I probably just need to make sure I take a quarterback with the next round. Just pull Herbert up, make sure I get him with all the wildness that's going on. Yeah, I have heard the likely contract chatter as well. If what I heard was true, it's that they were looking to pay him the same they paid Andrews or something like that. You would know a lot more about it being a Ravens fan. I have a hard time to me that is less bullish on the wide receivers than like it affecting Andrews. I think that just means they're going to run 12 personnel a lot more, which probably means that Derrick Henry is just the pick again, right? Like that's probably what that means, is that it's just another Derrick Henry season. We'll go ahead. We'll pull up Justin Herbert just to make sure we get like of the quarterbacks, that's the one I want. The rest of these offenses might be mediocre. Everyone knows the Ravens are going to score hella points, but nobody wants the players. I have a bunch of Rashad Bateman and quite a bit of like I'm above the field on Andrews and a little above the field on Lamar. I like Lamar this year a lot. Like I think he's really cheap for what he offers. It means the offense plus Henry plus Andrews likely plus yeah. Ravens side. Really? You think Lamar is going to break away from the 24+% target share to both tight ends when both of his wide receivers had a 13.1% last year? Like, I think if you just look at Lamar over history, like he just always targets tight ends. Part of that is that he's never had great wide receivers, right? Like, but yeah, I think that they're like I sprinkle in likely. The problem is that all of the tight ends are round likely. Like Colston Loveland's still available around likely most of the time, you know? I do, and him and Ferguson are like a coin flip to me, but like Loveland falls down there pretty often, and that feels pretty good. I mean, I could take one of those. I mean, my running back is pretty thin. I will probably just hit quarterback with volume based on what I have going on here. I probably took too many wide receivers early. I do agree with that. What's up, Mark? Welcome. We will be doing a second draft in case you would like to come. Have you done a drafters draft yet? I know you said you used the old promo code. And for those of you who are not, and you would like to play on drafters, use promo code WHO for a 100% deposit match for up to $100. Be like Mark. He said that the promo code worked, so he was the guinea pig. You all can thank him for that. I mean, if you... Yeah, I know you're really big on Zay being like the absolute man. And it could be true. I just think history. I believe history will repeat itself until it doesn't. Right now that Zay is in the 5th round, I'm already up to 4%. I had like 1.2% Zay before he became a 5th round pick. I take him about once every 6 or 7 drafts now, or not. About one out of not 6 or 7. About one out of 8 to 9 drafts is what I'm taking him now. Like, I think it's actually a reasonable price where he goes. And as Peppertoni's saying there, like, Baltimore's just an offense you want pieces of. And my problem was that Bateman and, like, between Bateman and Moon or Flowers, I really like the price of Bateman a lot more. Even though Flowers is by far the better wide receiver, like talent wise, like skill wise, everything. Like, he's so good at running routes. He understands defenses. Like, on every single level, he's just a really good wide receiver. I will take one of these two. Oh, Colson Loveland went. I actually think I'm going to take Rachaad White. So something not a lot of people are really talking about is that I haven't heard is the Tristan Wirfs stuff, right? With Tristan Wirfs being hurt, if he misses any reasonable amount of time, I believe that's awesome for it's awesome for Rachaad White because that's going to hurt Bucky's ability to run because Wirfs is one of the best left or tackles in the league, right? So I think that actually helps Rachaad White this year. Like, and he's so cheap. Yeah, that has to. Look, I'm getting all kinds of ADP value. I got Laporta at 90. You got Ridley at 66. Scattaboo at 127. Darnell Mooney at 103. Like, now if Penix doesn't come back, I'll probably have to go ahead and pull up Cam Ward. And I'm fine with that. I think I came back enough at running back. I still want a lot of them, but yeah, I really liked your team. Because those are the only 2 rookies you got. Or you took Judkins as well. This spot is wild. I was into Rachaad a little bit last year. I was heavy into him, and then And then I got into Bucky. I was actually just in on the Bucks running game, which was a good thing. I ended at like 11% Bucky and like 12% Rashad or something. I just wanted to be part of that offense. And I was overweight. I was overweight basically every buck last year, which if I didn't hit all the like a bunch of the injured players and play some other things really bad, might have been awesome for me. We will go ahead and take Michael Penix for the Mooney stack. Rashad is just hashtag good, like a step or two above a jag. Yeah, like he's one of the like I think Rashad Bateman Rashad White. Yeah. So Rashad White, he has something he's elite at, right? Like he is elite at pass catching or at blocking and the screen game off of the pass protection, right? So that means he's always going to have a role, and he's good enough at the receiving stuff that they will put him out there even when they don't need him in the block. So he has a really good role, and I just think that if Wirfs is hurt, they're going to have a lot more pressure on Baker the entire season. And if Baker's getting a lot more pressure, they're probably going to want the pass protecting back in, not Bucky, who's like one of the worst. I believe Bucky was one of the worst pass blocking backs in the league. Yeah, we'll take this stack. We got the 3 quarterbacks now. So right now we have Justin Herbert, Michael Penix, Cam Ward. Running backs are a little thin. Breece Hall, Tony Pollard, Cam Scatterbo, Rashad White. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Darnell Mooney. Tight end, Sam Laporta. I agree. I agree. My top exposed quarterbacks right now, he's number 3 on Underdog. I will go look at it real quick to make sure that's still true. Yeah, so Drake May 21%, Bryce Young 17, Herbert 14.8, Mahomes 12.7, Fields 12.2. I'm at the field on Lamar, but I took Lamar in a bunch of drafts. Wait, Sanders? Are you Rick M75? Ten spot is cooking. Let's do this little thing so I can look at the whole thing. I guess I could just Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Shadur Sanders, Ashton Jenney, Derrick Henry. What else do you need? He got Pat Bryant at 106, Adam Thielen at 87. Honestly, this feels like it could be a collusion kind of draft with some of this going on, some of that going on. I don't know. Like, I know I'm not involved in whatever it is that's going on over here. I want nothing to do with this. Like, I want nothing to do with that at all. All right, so I think this is the kind of team I need to take a shot on, like Miles Sanders. And this is definitely going to be a 7 wide receiver or 7 running back team. Probably take a tight end on the way back around, unless a RB I really like is left. It's his second draft, could just be new. Yeah, that's true as well. Like, whenever you see people that only have a couple drafts in, like, you never know. Like Roscoe, if he's only 9 drafts into his best ball journey, maybe and the only things he's really done is pulled up some players like 2 rounds, right? Like Fields got pulled up a little aggressive, But everything else, like you pulled up a guy like an entire round or something, like that's not that egregious or anything, right? He got Sanders in the fifth, just like in real life. Peppertoni out here smashing the Browns just like his Ravens. Yeah, we got a. I'm gonna just take more shots there, and I'm gonna get another tight end here. We'll do Kate Otten. I'll probably end up with 3 tight ends, probably just 7 wide receivers and 7 running backs. I think is what I'm gonna do here. Like if I didn't have the 3 bye week 12s, I would probably stop right now. But considering I will only have Neighbors, Ridley, and Mooney for the bye week 12, like I would like to have a third guy or a fourth guy in there to fill those 3 spots, right? Like just in case. So maybe that isn't aggressive for Fields. Could be like the parable meme thing going on. Maybe you're on to something. Yeah, I don't I like this draft, but I also don't love it. Like I got a bunch of value, but I definitely let RB slide quite a bit. And you do need the absolute nuts in this. So like I need Malik Neighbors to outscore all the RBs in round 1, right? And to be the best pick in round 1. I need Terry McLaurin to outperform his regular ADP because I got him at a discount, right? Because Terry McLaurin, Brees Hall, Ladd, Neighbors will be, and then I need Ladd to be an awesome second round pick, right? And then just those guys to all be serviceable. Yeah, that's exactly where mine is. But that's because the draft as a whole, like they all went pretty heavy on running back. You are not in. Okay, you're not into that team. I mean, you are into that team, but you're not into that team on this draft. But we'll take one of these 2 guys if they make it to us. Mason Taylor at 199 would be pretty nice as well. People like everybody was worried about the Jamar Chase contract for a couple weeks last year, and Jamar Chase was going at like 9. It's kind of weird that Jamar Chase was as good as he was, and one of those teams isn't what won it. Because I got a couple Jamar Chase because I was Jefferson over Chase last year, which aged very poorly. But when that was going on, I was like, yeah, let's take all of the Jamar Chase, right? Like, let's just take all of it. Why would I not take all of the Jamar Chase now? You're a Wilson over Lloyd guy. Got it. You remember that? Yeah, like it's really weird because it wasn't like it was a day. There was like a 5 or 6 day window where that was going on. And all of those teams were way more likely to pair up Jamar Chase with Saquon or Nico Collins, right? So, and Jonathan Taylor, I think, was going up there too. So, like, those teams were the ones that, like, I don't know exactly where the winner was drafted from, but like, I was hating on them because Burrow risked. Yes, that was. Yeah, because Burrow himself came out and said, "I'm not sure how it's going to work out," or something like that, right? And the only injured player I decided to fade was the one that worked. I was into all the other ones. Like the absolute, like I shouldn't have been in. Like I should have just not been into any of them, and I would have felt better about it. But or I should have been in all of them. So I need somebody available week 10 or week 12 here. I might just go ahead and take we'll just take Keaton Mitchell here. And we'll get I would love to get Tyler Higbee on the way back. If I could get Tyler Higbee on this team, that would be fantastic. Or even Sanders. Like the wide receiver I get at the end, I'm not super worried about. I would love Adonai Mitchell, actually. If Adonai makes it back around, I will take him over. I would absolutely take him over the running backs, but over the tight ends. Yeah, I remember what it was. Well, the thing is he injured that wrist the previous season at the end of the season. And it was still bothering him in training camp for some reason. I can't remember the exact reason. But during the camps, it was still kind of bothering him, like after practices. Like it wasn't affecting him throwing that much, but he was also only throwing in practice. He wasn't throwing in a game or anything. And he mentioned, like, I remember an interview where he was talking about how he wasn't sure about it or something. And it spooked me a little. It spooked me more than Sam Darnold with Jefferson. That's why I had Jefferson over Chase, which was absolutely a mistake. So my boy's still there. The tight ends. Man, tight ends thin out real bad. Like way more than like wide receivers, you still feel like there's people down here you can click that aren't like just awful. Tight ends, that is not the case. This could just be a Gadsden team, though, right? I never take Oronde Gadsden. I personally believe that it's going to be Tyler Conklin. Like, that's just where I'm at with it. Yeah. I went down that rabbit hole last year with old Jelani Woods. We're not doing that again. We are not doing that again. We are not going down the Razgod tight end score. Been injured guy. We've lived that life, and that life was rough. Yeah, yeah, that was a rough life, everybody. I don't wish it on anybody. So yeah, I am not going back down that rabbit hole. That is what I know. Now, this is the kind of team you could tack a Taysom Hill on, though, right? Because I have Laporta and Otten. I honestly just want another guy who may play. So, like Taysom Hill, I feel like is fine if you have like an Njoku Craft or something, like tacking on Taysom at the very end. Then is like just a bit like you feel comfortable with what you got, and it's just a gigantic upside swing. If you're in the draft and you would like me to review, say something in the chat. I will review after we make picks or after I make my last pick. I'm for sure taking a tight end. Was in the Gadsden rabbit hole last week, climbed out finally. Yeah, I never got into it. I still believe that it's going to be Tyler Conklin, but I wouldn't mind having a share or two in the 20-round formats. I won't have any until I hear actual camp news in the 18-round formats. Whenever you can draft a 34-year-old tight end with decent knee injury, you got to do that. Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, we're gonna do the thing this time. Hey, thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. And those of you who have not already, if you could pop in like Greg did and smash the like, I would much appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. 112 entry, 112K entry max. Yeah. I think that's what everybody done is they just set it to auto, made some ranks, set it to auto. Yeah, I think it was too. All right. So we got a 3773, not the normal build. Justin Herbert, Michael Penix, Cam Ward. We got a 10 pick discount there, but we gave it up on Herbert. Brees Hall, Tony Pollard, Cam Scattaboo, 13 picks after ADP. Rashad White, Miles Sanders, and then Marshawn Lloyd and Keaton Mitchell. We need some help at running back. Like, we have enough to play, but if any of these guys at the back end hit at all, like, I think this is a very serviceable room. Then we got Malik Neighbors, Lad McConkey, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, 10 picks past ADP, Darnell Mooney, 15 picks past ADP, and then Adonai Mitchell, Sam Laporta, 17 picks of ADP, Cade Otton, and Oronde Gadsden. A lot of ADP value. I need some help at RB, but I love the team altogether. Zero, he's got Lamar, Matt Stafford, Sam Darnold. I like that. I like you went. I like how you have Lamar coming off of a bye to hit the double bye week there. With Joe Mixon, Quinshawn, J.K. Dobbins, Jarquez Hunter. Yeah, that is a thin RB room, kind of like mine as well. But then you attacked it with volume, hoping a guy hits. Jarquez Hunter, Raheem Mostert, Trevor Etienne, and Emmanuel Wilson. We are battling Green Bay backups. Wide receivers, Puka, Drake, JSN, Zay Flowers, Golden, Higgins, Bateman. With your buys being spread out better than mine, that is fantastic. I would have stopped at 6 if I could have. I feel like with the 3 by week 12s, I couldn't. Tight ends, Colston Loveland, Likely, Mason Taylor. Yeah, that's a really strong team. Just like me, if Mixon, Judkins, and Dobbins are serviceable and you get a hit out of those guys, it's a very strong team. All right, we're going to go look at the lobby. Only one in the lobby. If you want in, join now. We are going. Is this going to be the first time that Mike Cox gets to draft on drafters? Who else got way too much? I've autoed like 3 of my picks and I had like a day to where I forgot about it for like 12 hours and ended up missing like a pick on like 7 teams or something, but I only have like 30 going. And all of them autoed a quarterback naked. So there is that. I got an all Ohio State team finally in the Lil. Been trying to pull one off for a while. Nice. Hey, you got to have goals. You got to make it fun, right? Like if you're going to do 1,000 drafts, you might as well have 1 or 2 that are homer drafts, right? I took Dobbins over Sharp. I think Dobbins because this is a new time box. I think it's very defensible to take him at like 110-ish, like before Tyrone Tracy, up to like almost up to where Jordan Mason goes. It's your pick. Head to the draft. Oh, I have all of my notifications turned off. That's a very low number. And by the way, everybody, we are in a $3 drafters lobby. We have 5 more spots. Anybody who wants in, there is plenty. So it's full PPR total points. So That's the difference. It's same exact starting roster, 2 extra roster spots, full PPR, uh, a point every 10 yards, like with fractional points, uh, the full point per reception, no tight end premium. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm just glad that the promo code worked. And for those of you who are not signed up, you could use the promo code listed below. Like Mark did, he verified that it worked for us. So everybody say thank you. Yeah, it's a $3 draft, right? Like you might as well have fun. And you can look at it from the lobby as well. It's full PPR. So I know you did a bunch of and it's total points. So basically you don't have pods. Once this draft is over, you're against all 46,000 people in the pod. And it's just the most points wins. So a lot of people believe this is the purest form of best ball. I would agree that it's probably the purest form. That doesn't make it the most fun. I still love the excitement of the playoff pods is pretty epic. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And Tyler Higbee, I believe, is one of those too. And you'll notice that like players like Demario Douglas, because his full PPR goes like 15, 16 picks earlier, and deservedly so. Like because in full PPR, he's actually a pretty solid pick. And yeah, I don't know. We got 2 more. The one thing about drafters is it does generally take longer for these lobbies to fill. Wandell also goes. He go at the same price? Yeah, Higbee in the and Cole Kmet. Like everybody forgets, Loveland is currently hurt. Like for the whole season and at his ADP, it's probably still fine. But Cole Kmet is undrafted most drafts, and he's probably going to have a role at the beginning of the season. The thing I don't like about drafters is there's no draft at night. Basically, yeah, it's pretty. It can be hard to get into lobbies, like anything after like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock Central, that is. All right, we got the Kai in the 2 spot. We got Brought in the 3, Mark Cox in the 4, Rick in the 5. We got the 7 and 0 at the 12, bringing up the rear. Draft just feels like a small town, whereas Underdog is that's kind of what it is. Like drafters, it's all the same contest. It's all the same. Like it's just different price points. It's all basically, it's all total points, all full PPR, no differences. They don't have anything like an eliminator or anything like that yet. Last year they ran a super flex. So from what I've heard, they're going to bring out a super flex at some point. And that's kind of what I'm really waiting for is the super flex for drafters. How do you feel about CD over Jefferson this year? I don't love it. I mean, I think it's Chase, and then it's just whatever you want, right? Like, I think CD, Jefferson, Puka. If you want to throw even Nico and Malik Neighbors in that group, like I think it's perfectly acceptable. It's just which flavor do you want to do? We got everybody to click the button. That never happens. That's the first time I've ever seen everybody click the button. That is fantastic. Yeah, I would love to get more Jefferson. I know that. I'm still going to be Jefferson over CD. I'm going to be at like 6 to 7% neighbors. I'm not going to fade. Like, I'm not going to hard fade him, but I don't. He does have an absolute chance to just destroy everything if Dart ends up starting early and Dart is really good. Yeah. But that's a couple of issues. We took neighbors last time. We'll take Puka this time. We'll go by my ADP. Yeah, this will be my last draft though. The day has finally hit me. So this will be my last one for sure. I know it just started. I know we have a while to go, but I will be ready to take a nap when we're done. Absolutely. Yeah, I go back and forth with neighbors though. Like I think I actually like Nico above neighbors, but I don't want to fade neighbors. I think it is much better. Like I think it's kind of like the Brock Bowers argument. I think it would be very very hard for it to be worse. And like there is still a world where we get the Jameis Winston to Malik Neighbors for 2 weeks, right? Like if Jackson Dart's not like if Russ gets hurt week 2 and Jackson Dart's not quite ready yet, we might see Jameis Winston for 3 or 4 weeks before they let Jackson Dart go out there. And if nothing else, that's going to be 3 or 4 weeks of absolute fire if that happens, right? No, that's predicting an injury in a specific time window for that to happen. And the world is not ready if something like that were to happen. But that is something that could happen, right? I'm not going to bet a massive, like, I'm not going to bet build my portfolio around that actuality, right? Like, so as you can see, I have moved Rashid Rice way up for this time box contest. Be in the time box, that's what we want. I'm going to take Bowers, though, here. We're going to go ahead and take Bowers. I've got a ton of Rashid Rice. Feels great. I have neighbors ranked right with CD and ahead of Puka. Yeah, but I mean, that's where I'm at with Puka right with CD and ahead of neighbors, right? Like, and I think it's completely defensible to go all the way down to, and honestly, like, even BTJ and Amon Ra, like, I don't have them in that same grouping, but I don't think you're wrong to do that. I do think that there's a little bit of a tier break at Nico or neighbors, wherever you want to make that. Like, but it's a small one, and those next two are definitely their own tier. So you could kind of throw them in there as well. Yeah, I get 15% too. 15% what? 15% of what, Thad? I think Neighbors is the least fragile pick compared to Puka. Oh no, I will agree that Puka is the most fragile of the picks, but I also think Puka, given a fully healthy season, is the most likely to be wide receiver one. That's what I feel. I think if you give us 17 games of Puka Nacua, I think it's 50-50 him or Chase. Right? Like I honestly believe that if we get 17 games of him, I think it's like heads up. And yeah, Jimmy G could feed Puka, right? If Stafford gets hurt, like it's not like good for Puka. But if Joe Burrow gets hurt, it is a pretty big ding on Jamar. Yeah, like, and that's nothing against what's his name? Oh, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Okay, I guess I can't look it up like that. What was his name? I it's right on the edge of my mind. Not Stetson Bennett. Uh, the guy who filled in for Burrow last year. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take Hampton here. We're gonna go elite wide receiver with the tight end, double running back. And while we're here, we're gonna look at the poll. Favorite build during total points of the following: elite quarterback by round two, or elite quarterback with two running backs by round five. That's what everybody. That is what 8 of the people voted on. Hero running back, 5 wide receivers was the second. Elite tight end and hero running back with 3 wide receivers. One person voted on that, and nobody voted 5 wide receivers because you all know ball. That's why. Nice. Well, I would have been pretty happy with like Worthy there as well, but based on what I've been seeing in these lobbies, running back tends to go a little earlier. So, and the wide receiver value tends to be there a lot further into the draft. I really like what Mark's doing with his first team. He's got CD Lamb, Jonathan Taylor, Trey McBride, Xavier Worthy. And on drafters, I do think just taking Burrow to secure the double stack makes a lot more sense because if you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and like if both of those are hitting, Joe Burrow is probably hitting too. And if your stack doesn't have Joe Burrow, you're probably just a worse version of that team, right? So trying to push that to in total points to me makes a lot less sense than it does in the playoff pod stuff. And in the playoff pod stuff, yes, I do it sometimes. It just feels like what I'm feeling like at the time. Sometimes I take Burrow at the 4-5. Sometimes I push him. But in total points, I do think just grabbing him makes some sense. I'd do just DeMarchi over plus Lamar over Brees. All right, so are we going to do another Calvin Ridley team? It looks like it. We could take Travis Hunter though. I think I just want Ridley. We only have one wide receiver, so I think just taking the sure points with Ridley here makes a lot of sense. Let them bury Marv. I'll dig them up. So where Marv's going here is right where I think he should go. I don't think it's a great price, but I do think that if it's what you need, that price versus so it's a 2v2. Like, is Cortland Sutton versus Ricky Pearsall that big of a deal to you? Or Cortland Sutton versus Stephon Diggs or Jacoby Myers, like that's the reason I don't like. Do I think it's a good price? No. But in the 2v2, like, is it that big of a deal? Like James Cook versus DeAndre Swift or Pollard, like maybe there it is. But what percentage of the time does Ricky Pearsall outscore Cortland Sutton on the season, right? Like, is it 35, 40%? If it's that number, wouldn't you rather have 4 attempts at different players doing that than just the one who may be the guy. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah. And that is absolutely right. Burrow price of 48 is a bit rich, but their defense isn't getting any better, and they're bringing their entire offense back. And none of their defense. They Trey Hendrickson is still a holdout, if I remember right, correctly. Let's go, Clint. Leave me my boy. We will take Jerry Jeudy there. I kind of wanted Jeudy. I don't take a ton of Jeudy, but I do really like the pick. They were linking Hendricks to the Packers. Really? When was that? I missed that. I knew they were linking Hendricks on the trade block. I didn't hear Packers specifically. I'm assuming bye weeks. No, you're way off. It matters more. Bye weeks matter a little more because every week is so bye weeks matter less in the playoff structure because all of the money is won in weeks 15, 16, 17, right? And this every week is 1/17 of all of your points, and all of your points is what wins money. So each week has more value than it does in the underdog style tournaments, right? I don't know if I explained that well, but that's how I view it. And I'm pretty sure the data backs up that the bye weeks matter a lot more. And I know you're asking because you got 3-week bye week 10s. Just make sure to end with like 7 or 8 receivers, probably 8. Probably maybe stop now. Or something, and then try to tack on 3 more. Something like that is probably what I would do. Because the Pickens Worthy Lamb start is pretty awesome. And I would probably do the same start even with Diggs, and then just like your next 3, like you don't want all of your capital there. So, and you already have 4 really good receivers. So maybe another one here, but like not 2. And then 2 late as well. Make sure that they aren't by week 10. Any other wide receivers you take. For sure, I just see the combos better, especially running backs like Kamara, Walker. Right. Yeah, the combos will be better, right? Like I do agree with that. The combos will be better. But there's still a reasonable chance that the other people do, and you're just going to get more shots at. Like if you continually do that, you're going to have more players that extra pick was the shot on, right? Yeah, Kamara. I really like Kamara. Where did he go here? That's kind of where he goes normally. I used to get him at 55 pretty often. I would love to get either one of these 2. Come on, clown baby. We'll go with Matthew Golden there. Kamara more risky with underdog playoff pods. Yeah, like the problem with Kamara is there's a chance he gets benched like week 12 or whatever because they want to see the younger guys, right? Or, and I haven't heard a lot of people talking about this, but maybe Kamara is one of the veterans that get traded mid-season, right? Like maybe Kamara is the person that ends up in Dallas mid-season, right? Like, which would be ludicrous, right? And maybe Kamara could, like, and if something like that happens, like if Kamara got traded to a team that had an early bye week, you could actually get 18 games of value out of Kamara as well. I don't think that there's really any talks about that or that being something that's very possible. But like, right, yeah, that. Hmm. I'm going to take Jordan Mason over Brian Robinson this time. They re-upped his deal last year, I believe. Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's right. That was last year. My mind's kind of going today. Like I said, I worked for 12. I drove 2 hours. It was hot, but we're here. We're streaming. We're grinding. Yeah, like that was my thing. Like even if he plays 13 weeks and only 13 weeks, like he had what 80 catches last year. He had 87 targets, 68 receptions last year, which is awesome. And that was on 14 games. So he missed 3 games. Achan had more receptions, but more games. Yeah, Achan had 78 receptions on 17 games. And Bijan, which people don't talk about this, but Bijan had 61 receptions, the third most in the league. But Kamara had only 10 less receptions on 3 less games. And he had the same amount of targets, I believe. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't think he'll get benched. Like, but I do think that they will at least start mixing in like Devin Neal and stuff, assuming that it assuming that they're as bad as we expect them to be, right? All right, so we want a wide receiver here. Um, we'll take Bateman. We just needed anybody. I've drafted Cam Akers. I drafted Cam Akers in like the puppy one and another contest where it was time boxed in slows, basically. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield. Honestly, I don't hate this team. I don't love it, but I don't hate it because you got the Terry Jaden stack. You got the naked Mahomes isn't great, so I maybe he gets Hollywood Brown at 113. He better get him at 113 because I'm taking him at 127. What do we want to do? I Scatterboo is like free falling now. Like I'm gonna have a hard time not being over. Like I was to the point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let Scatterboo ride a little bit, and now he's just free falling. So it's gonna be pretty hard for me to not continue to click him whenever I just think he's just the best click on the board. Um, let's just take Tyler Warren and be done at tight end. Barack Bowers, Tyler Warren, we're done. I feel good. Like all of my quarterbacks are late. I feel okay at running back with Jacobs and Hampton and Jordan Mason. Like that's perfect to like throw 3 guys on that are just shots late. Tracy Scadabo, about to be this year's Mostert. Man, I cannot talk. Mostert H-Chan. Yeah. They're going to be, I don't know. I'm curious what happens with it, honestly. Like, if the Giants are a way better offense and they score a lot more points, Scadaboo is definitely going to be a solid pick. He's going to be the goal line guy at worst, in my opinion. Yeah, Najee Warren's probably the better comp. I would agree with that. And I could see Scadaboo just being a Najee Harris. I could absolutely see that. Brought Snipes the Drake May, but from the Steph Diggs drafter, not that you needed another quarterback, but Jordan Love goes there, unstacked. That's great. Or actually, I don't know if it was stacked. No, he has Jaden Reed. All right, so we'll just stack up Hampton with Justin Herbert. I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Or, sorry, Zero. I don't have a quarterback yet, and he's underpriced anyway. You got your other guys available though, or well, do you? Not anymore. I expected Stroud to make it back. I mean, I did what was best for my team, right? Scat will be the Warren side of that zero. I'm a believer in Scadaboo. We're gonna see what happens, but I'm still a believer. I haven't been proven wrong yet. There's definitely time. I might just let myself get boxed out of quarterback in this one. We're gonna see what happens here. I might just take another wide receiver. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just take another wide receiver here. And then we're gonna call it. Then we're gonna take whatever quarterback comes back to us of these guys. We have all of these options, so we can afford to take Hollywood if Clint does not. So we'll take Hollywood here. We don't know for sure from Logan Grew yet, but every BBM drafter has every BBM winner was sniped up until last season. I don't think he's came out and said that he was yet, but they've all been sniped into a pick that actually worked for them to get to to win, help them win. Like Karain was he had the quarterback sniped on him, and he took the running back who went nuclear in a single week. I like getting sniped, making me adjust different teams. Yeah, and it depends on the scale of the snipe too. Like last year, if you had and this was just bad strategy, but if you had all three Texans and you were just trying to push the Stroud to round 8 because you could get that, and quote buddy sniped you one pick before, that one, you're already building a bad team just to have fun. Yeah, exactly. If you take a player at ADP, Right, yeah. I fully agree with that. Like, and to be honest, ADP is just a construct, right? So like, even if you take them after ADP, like or before ADP, like that just means you wanted that player more than the other person. If they wanted somebody, they have picks to go up and get them. So like, if you want Justin Fields, just take him in round 5. If you want Shedeur Sanders, just take him in round 6. Not saying I would do that, but if that's your guy, Shedeur Sanders round 6, do it. I won't begrudge you. All right, Matthew Stafford, come on down. I kind of figured quarterbacks are going to get absolutely smashed. Yeah, that's like whenever, and like I know whoever was watching with me and Candles, like, and we pushed Burrow and we got the snipe or whatever. It's like, I don't show emotion on it because if I want Burrow, I can take him at the 4-5 turn. That's on me if I don't take him at the 4-5 turn. It's not a snipe. Now, I can also think that a naked Burrow is just a bad choice, but that doesn't make it a snipe. That's a completely different thing. And to me, people like misconstrue that. Like, a snipe is like if you're taking them 15 picks before ADP, like a round and a half before ADP, like reverse stream snipe. Solid move. Welcome, Kai. Yeah, so like the way people do that, like we all have the ability. We know what the ADPs are. We know if we like in this room, I felt like I should have just taken a quarterback there. But I had 3 of them available. Now, all I needed is one of them to come back. I would have liked 2 of them to come back. But it didn't happen. I don't care. It's fine. Now, here's the real question. I only have Herbert and Stafford. Do I pull up? Like, I do kind of like, and now I'm going to chance this whole thing by taking, you know what? No, we're not. We are just taking Daniel Jones at 162. Yeah, we're just going to do it. I don't care. Like, we're in the $1 picks here. I just want to make sure I get a third quarterback. Herbert Stafford to me is not enough. It just is not enough. Now, I love Herbert, and I think Herbert could have the Baker type season from last year. But that doesn't mean I'm comfortable with Herbert Stafford being done, right? And I have the dime stack here with Tyler Warren, and there's still 2 people I could stack with him on the board. Now, actually 3. So I don't mind pulling somebody up like that if, like, especially with a quarterback. Like, Rodgers didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Shuck, I could backstack Shuck, but I do that fairly often. And I would rather just stop pushing the envelope, at least not on all drafts. Like, I'll still do it, but sometimes you just need to get a guy. Do I think that was a winning move? Maybe, maybe not. Do I think this team required a third quarterback? Yes. And I actually had a stack there. So tell me I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. If I'm wrong, it's fine. And when we're done with this draft, I will go over Mark's team. I'll go through my team. Okay. Yeah, now if I was grading somebody's draft that did this on Draft or Pass, I'd instantly be like, Daniel Jones 162. and then I'd make sure that like I would just kind of look through the team, and I would assume that some shenanigans like this happened with all the quarterbacks going, but that doesn't mean I have to grade it highly. Like that's still a mild knock. You could still beat other teams with something like that, like if I'm doing old draft or pass, but like it's not a positive, right? Like whenever you're grading which team is better with no other information, yeah, Dimes at 162 looks bad. Like with no context, it will look bad. So yeah, I like doing this whole Bowers Warren thing. I've done it I like it a lot more on Underdog. A third tight end might always be I don't know, maybe it's always needed in drafters, just to make sure you don't have a bad if Bowers got hurt for 2 weeks, like if he had a mild leg injury week 2, right, and he was out weeks 2 through 4, like Bowers could still be an amazing pick, but you needed, and Tyler Warren's not at speed, so like a Higbee could be good on a team like this. It all comes back to Higbee. Of course, Giddens goes. Well, we'll take the other stacked running back with Jarquez Hunter. Welcome, Hartman. We took Jarquez Hunter. You're welcome. One of the few people that has more Jarquez Hunter exposure than I do, this man right here. We are on our second draft. This will be our last draft. I definitely will be probing into the Quinshon Judkins news tomorrow before I jump on stream. I definitely want to know a little bit more about that. I'm sure we'll hear about it throughout the day. If it's so I think it was, I'm not going to call out a name, but somebody in whenever the Xavier Worthy thing was going on, remember when that happened with Xavier Worthy back in March, and Xavier Worthy went from pick 35 all the way to now 48 in a day, because that news was going on. Well, this specific person, and I'm not going to name a name, I'm pretty sure I remember who it was, but it wasn't Chad Candles, but it was somebody who's a lawyer saying that these domestic things usually get settled without a charge. Just because the police get called doesn't mean anything gets filed. And until something's filed, you're completely in the good. Now, assuming that there was no really awful things happen in the whole situation, right? Taj Brooks. I feel pretty good about that running back room. The wide receiver room, probably not my best. I definitely let it get a little thin. Puka, Ridley, Judy, Golden, Bateman, Hollywood. Probably 3 more wide receivers. I'll probably just stick with those 2 tight ends. But yeah, I'm ready. Basically, over the next couple days, we'll see if anything gets filed, or if anything comes of that, or what actually happened. We don't know. And maybe we'll get some news on Trey Harris not signing yet and not being at camp. I wonder how many of the other second-round rookies are going to follow suit. To me, that's pretty important. When one of the first ones doesn't show up, or the rest of them, is the rookie class So I could see the entire rookie class just kind of doing that because it's a completely new ball game now where all of these athletes are coming in having 2 or 3 years of NIL money. So these people probably have enough money to live on if they aren't getting checks from the NFL right now, right? So why wouldn't they use that as leverage to get leverage on their contract? Like that's what I would do if I was these players. And if any of those players is really smart, they should have called the rest of those players in the second round and said, hey, we need to make a statement because we've all got paid from NIL, right? So, like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I could see something like that to have happened. And like the agents, obviously, like it's a lot easier to talk your client into holding out or asking for more money if because they're wanting the fully guaranteed thing, right? And they're not going to sign. They're not going to start showing up to camp until they find out where that line is and who's the last one to not get fully guaranteed. And it's kind of weird because, like, I think was it Jaden Higgins got signed? I think it was Jaden Higgins is like the only one that signed. He was one of the two. Second round. I'm going to look this up real quick. All right, so it doesn't. I can't. The AI overview didn't do work, but I'm pretty sure that Jaden Higgins was one of them that was signed. I'm not positive on that. So we want to make sure we have plenty of upside up here, right? Judy's upside, Golden's upside. Hollywood could have big weeks. Adonai Mitchell could have big weeks. So we just need to get some bodies in there. Ray McLeod. And to be honest with you, if Anthony Richardson's available at 234, I'm just going to take Anthony Richardson as well. Okay. I turn off all notifications on. If I hear a sound from my Discord, I will lose all focus while I'm on a stream, so I can't have the sounds on. So if you send me something, you have to like say something. Like that's the only way I will notice. Yeah, there and then one more signed as well. If I'm gonna assume it was Tyler Shuck, just because quarterbacks usually get treated differently. I will look that up now. Yeah. Oh, no. I ask, is Tyler Shuck signed? And it says, yes, New Orleans Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck is still unsigned. So it definitely heard the assignment and then tried to pull a fast one like a grade school teacher. An old double negative, trying to get you to answer wrong. They're wiry out there. Can't believe it. Cannot believe it. How dare them? Let's just take a 2-2 here. No. Jermaine Burton. Sounds good. Yeah, Higgins is ready to ball out. All right, so my team 3-6-9-2. Herbert, Stafford, Daniel Jones. Not the best room, but it could be enough. Josh Jacobs, Hampton, Jordan Mason, Will Shipley, Jarquez Hunter, and Taj Brooks. A very solid base, 3 gigantic swings at the end. Puka, hero wide receiver, and then Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy, Matthew Golden, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown, Adonai Mitchell, Ray McLeod, Jermaine Burton, tight end, Brock Bowers, and Tyler Warren. Let's look at Mark's team. His first draft on Drafters. Everybody, I liked what I seen at the beginning of the draft. We have Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, Jalen Milroe, Jonathan Taylor, Caleb Johnson, Javonte Williams at 141, which seems to be his new price. And I think at 140, I am actually kind of willing to click him. Brings up Roshan. That's not that bad. There is a giant tier there. I think some people believe there's a big tier break there. And Roshan's the one that feels the least gross out of like Braylon and them to me. But he gets Braylon as well. Raheem Mostert. I like that. That can absolutely play. Like hero Jonathan Taylor, Caleb Johnson takes a few weeks to get going. You have some guys to get him there. And then CD, Xavier Worthy, you got the double. Steph Diggs, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp fits perfectly with the 3 wide or bye-week 10s. McMillan, Slayton, Tutu, Reynolds, Tucker Kraft, and Trey McBride. I really like those 2 tight ends. That's a very solid draft. Very solid draft. I wouldn't have went Milroe in total points myself. I understand it. Like if he ends up starting by week 12 and you get 5 weeks of him, there is a chance he puts up 2 weeks and you do at least have the Cooper Kupp stack. So like I don't hate it. Jalen Milroe is, in my opinion, a much better pick in the tournament style stuff than he is in total points, right? So that's just something to think about. I've been doing Naked Elite Quarterback. It's okay. I don't know. Like all of the elites have somebody who's pretty easy to stack. Like I'm not saying go out of your way to like bring people up like I did with Daniel Jones. I'm not saying to do that. But like if there's somebody there at ADP, like not getting a stack is kind of silly. And like if you're not into Zach Ertz at all, like I mean that's the thing. Like Jaden Daniels, let's see who you ended up taking. I don't even know who you took. Oh, you got the Lamar. Yeah, so like just throw on like if Lamar's the absolute dude, there's a small chance that like maybe it's Devontae Walker, right? Like he's got some okay camp news. I don't like the DeAndre Hopkins click, but he's pretty free as well. Yeah, like and Hurts with Goddard's pretty easy and Shipley. JD5 with Eckler and Hurts, like they're really easy. And Lamar, you have like, what did you do in rounds 9 and 10? Where is your name again? So like ETN could have easily been Rashad Bateman, right? Or was he already gone? Yeah, Bateman went right. Like if Andrews was gone, even if you don't like Bateman, like having a team or two with Bateman is fine, right? Especially if you're gonna lean into elite quarterback. And it's not like that's a match. Like Bateman's ADP is like 110-ish, so he doesn't show up if you take Lamar early. That all like in your queue, so you have to remember you have to scroll down for it. But I think you do want a pass catcher at minimum. Do I think it? I think it could. It can work. Like you don't need 100% of your elite quarterbacks to have somebody. I think it's like I think in the daily streets it was like 10% of the time it was optimal. I don't know how much those numbers change over the course of a season though. I would think over the course of a season it would regress. It would regress more towards the stat, like having whatever their best stack was matters the most, especially in total points, right? Like in a tournament style, the naked thing will work a lot better. But since you're trying to get the most points, like if Lamar Jackson is the absolute guy you need, unless he rushed for 18 touchdowns, right? Like that's why Jalen Hurts naked. Jalen Hurts naked probably makes the most sense of them and Josh Allen because Josh Allen and so Josh Allen doesn't usually bring along one guy for a massive week or for a massive season, or he hasn't been since Steph Diggs. But maybe that's a talent thing as well. Maybe once Josh Allen finds somebody who's talented again, that happens. But no, I think throwing a stack on just kind of makes sense, especially with Josh Allen. Everybody's so free, and yeah, and that's the thing. Lamar threw for 41 touchdowns, and like Zay Flowers had 4, I think. Bateman had 9. Andrews had 11. Likely had like 6. So like you have and Zay had the most spikes of all of them. So like Zay, you still get like a bunch of spikes at wide receiver, but Bateman and Andrews were the sacks you would have wanted last year, right? So yeah, I mean, it's your first time in total points. I'm just trying to help out, right? And what you did, so the way that this draft specifically played out, I don't absolutely hate it either because you wanted a third quarterback, right? Fields and Prescott is probably enough, maybe. But there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, right? And you do have some stacking options there. And you did take somebody with major upside if he does play. And it's around 20 pick. Flacco was there. Do you have – yeah, but you don't have any like Flacco you'd want to bring somebody along with, right? Like a Deontay Johnson, or not that it's Deontay Johnson, but like Jerry Jeudy or Njoku or something. So like I actually think like for your team, Milroe was great. The reason I said that is because I don't think this is something you should get to do all the time. If you're drafting him a couple times, it's fine. There is a world where Sam Darnold gets hurt week 3 and Jalen Milroe was ready enough and he just steps in and plays the whole season, right? And then you're an absolute genius. But like the RB at 237, gonna be not that worse than Braylon. I'm just like, basically I know you're buddies with JT, and JT goes a little ham when it goes to Jalen Milroe. And I'm just saying that I don't hate the pick in total points, but JT was at like 35% or something, Jalen Milroe on DraftKings. But DraftKings is a different contest because of the end of the stuff, right? So that's the reason I'm pointing it out, is because if that was like, if that's part of the reason you took it, like, it's just that this is a different style of contest, right? And this is another thing. You could just take Joe Milton, and handcuff your quarterback. Like there would be nothing wrong with that either, or Tyrod Taylor, right? Like if you want a third quarterback to protect yourself a little bit. But anyway, want to thank everybody for coming out. I will be back tomorrow night. I'm going to try to do 6:45 p.m. Central Time every Sunday night. Tomorrow, we will probably be back on the Underdog app. We will. We wanted. You never ask. I will, though. Bo Nix, Drake May, Tua, Bijan, Bucky, Quinshon, Ramondre, Nick Chubb, Ty Johnson. That running back room is very strong. Like, you have a third reasonable guy, like pretty solid guy. Stevenson there, just in case Judkins is either suspended or whatever. Like, I don't think anything will happen this year, but who knows? Chubb and Ty Johnson are just late shots. Tyreek, Tet, Sutton, Addison, Kyle Williams, Judkins, Dontavian Wicks, Tyler Lockett. You stacked up your elite quarterbacks. You got your Kyle Williams and Drake May. You got your Sutton and Evan Ingram. You got the double stack there. Evan Ingram, Ertz, and Chig. That's a very solid. Yeah, you're solid all the way through. I don't personally like the Nick Chubb pick ever, but yeah, like I could absolutely be wrong there. Like if Mixon's leg is still hurt, like it could just be a good pick. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Thanks for popping in. We are just about to close it out. I do appreciate you popping in, but that was the last draft. We done 2 already. We went over some teams, but I'll see everybody tomorrow night at 6. Yeah, we were kind of going over that. I'm not going to say a whole lot on it until we get actual reports on it. I didn't hear about it until somebody said something during the draft. I did mention about how the same thing happened with Xavier Worthy back in like March, right? And then nothing ended up getting – even though the arrest happened, like nothing got filed, so the arrest just didn't matter, right? Something like that could happen. It could become a big deal. We don't know. Hey, dude, it's all good. So many people stream. Like, I'm just glad some people show up and enjoy. I don't hold it against you. It's a Saturday night, man. Like, enjoy your life. Like, the only reason I'm here is because I just had a couple hours before I was going to bed, and to get up at 7 hours? I got to get up in 7 hours and go work another 12. So see everybody later. Have a great night. See you tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. Central. Peace.